I just got done on the phone with a client who was thanking me for talking her out of buying her dream home. I helped her choose a different location because the one that she was looking at, she thought was amazing. It was walkable and absolutely beautiful, but it was so overpriced that she almost paid way too much, and she ended up getting a property that she liked way more. And the budget actually fits her lifestyle. So these are my top 5 neighborhoods where I think you're paying a little bit more than you're getting in value. If you moved here for the Colorado lifestyle, I'm Heather O'Leary. I'm your Colorado homegirl, and this is what I do. I help people find places that have beautiful lakes or views of the mountains or access to trails, whatever it is that fits your lifestyle. Cherry Creek is one of Denver's top urban areas. Golden is absolutely gorgeous, and I actually wish I lived in King Carroll Valley. They have the absolute best trails. And so when I say overpriced, what I really mean is that people are paying a premium to live in that area, and you just have to make a choice if that premium is okay with you. It should be based on your lifestyle, your budget, and your personal goals. Because if you can get more for your money somewhere else, maybe that's actually a better idea for you. Or if you're moving from a place where Colorado's prices don't give you sticker shock when you first look at them, maybe it's a great idea for you to really pay for what you want out of your future home. There's a lot of marketing with all of these locations, and so people from out of state, whether it's California or Texas, they'll look at the marketing products and think that that is where they want to live, and they haven't done enough research yet. This video is to help you do all your research. Let's start with Cherry Creek, which is arguably one of Denver's most walkable neighborhoods. The walk score is 81 out of 100. That's pretty good, I would say. You can literally accomplish anything you need to on foot in the Cherry Creek area, and you're paying a premium no matter where you go. Restaurants, grocery stores, doctor's offices, they're all incredibly high end, and they're positioned in that area for a reason, because people who live and work in the Cherry Creek neighborhood have money. They are wealthy and they want only the absolute best. One of my offices used to be in Cherry Creek, and I will tell you my daughter's a little bit of a snob now because she really likes a certain coffee shop in the Cherry Creek area. Everything is high end in the area. It's literally a lifestyle choice. But with that comes, of course, the cost. The median sales price in Cherry Creek is $1.2 million. Cost per square foot is running closer to $292 per square foot. And this is for a neighborhood that has a large amount of attached properties in addition to incredibly high-end luxury single-family homes. The neighborhood is really stacked on top of each other because they're trying to fit as much as they can into the area. Some of these duplexes are multi-level and they are incredibly modern and beautiful, and other properties are older and more rundown. So you're actually paying more in Cherry Creek for the walkability and the lifestyle than you are for the actual home. The land is worth a lot, and so some of these properties are actually scrapes where they will just bulldoze the older home and build a new high-end property on that same lot. So if walkability is your #1 priority, then it's really important for you to pay attention to other neighborhoods as well. For example, Wash Park or Platt Park or University Hill are all absolutely gorgeous areas to live. Wash Park has a walk score of 61. It's a little bit more spread out. Platt Park has a walk score of 85. These are pretty meaningful differences for these urban city locations. There are some other places you might want to live that are also walkable, like downtown Littleton, South Broadway, and the Denver Tech Center area. Those are areas that are booming and have slightly lower price point, but you can still get the walkability and access to amazing restaurants and bars and coffee shops. I have a whole video on downtown Littleton and why it's so cute, so check that out. I'd love to show you around if you're interested. All right, next up, let's talk about the Ken Carroll Valley. This is definitely the opposite of Cherry Creek and honestly one of my favorite areas of town. Ken Carroll Valley sits southwest of Denver, nestled in the foothills, and it is a community that's literally built for the mountain lifestyle. So if you love hiking or mountain biking or even riding a horse, they have a beautiful equestrian center. The trails are second to none for everything in the Denver Front Range community. And by the way, if you are interested in trails and access, I have a whole spreadsheet that I've put together about local trails that I love, and it'll have all of my little secrets about each of the trails, like where to park, where to have lunch afterwards, how far it is away from different cities in the area. So download it here. Let me know if you have questions because it's honestly one of my favorite things to talk about. Ken Carroll is beautiful. There's rock formations and it sits behind the foothills. It is a master planned community with a variety of home prices ranging from 600,000 median all the way up to 830 median. Now, I will tell you, I personally think that's on the very low end because a lot of these properties are actually selling for well into the millions. The Ken Carroll Valley Master Association gives all of its residents prime access to miles and miles of trails for both hiking and biking. They also have pools, tennis courts, and a whole rec center. The price reflects that though. And it's not just the cost of the actual HOA, which is only about $83 a month as of right now. It might increase later. But the cost of the community is actually really baked into the home prices because a property that is nestled in the Ken Carroll Valley or even on the ranch area, which is on the other side, will cost you 5 to 8% more than if you purchased the same home just outside of the Ken Carroll boundary. Not only that, but a lot of the communities in Ken Carroll will have HOAs in addition to the Ken Carroll HOA. So honestly, if the lifestyle of living near the mountains is not a huge priority to you, I really don't think you should pay for it. In fact, you'll easily find something else, whether it's in the Littleton community or somewhere else that is absolutely beautiful if you don't mind driving, 15 or 20 minutes to get to the trails. But if you do love them, living in Ken Carroll is an absolute premium. In fact, they are so exclusive that you cannot hike or ride on those trails without a special wristband. And I'm always very jealous of that, and also grateful when I get to go with the friends of mine that will take me on those trails because they're absolutely spectacular. They are built incredibly well. They pay probably tens of thousands of dollars for those trails to be built. And they actually meander through the entire valley. So if you live in the valley, you can be riding your bike out the door with your kids on a nice, easy path in just a couple of minutes. You also have a lot of custom homes in that area, but I will tell you that they are much older, and so they will require a little bit of TLC. I'm gonna go into a few more details about that later in this video because I think there's a lot that you can do if you do find an older home that's slightly overpriced, but maybe you can get a really good deal on it. So stick around to the end of the video and I'll give you some more of my tips on that. All right, so let's just jump right into it. Lakewood, you are paying a premium for location and in kind of a different way. Lakewood has direct shot to downtown, 15 to 20 minutes to your office building. And it also has direct access all the way up to the mountains, ski resorts, golden, camping, trail systems, everything that's fun to do and play here in the Denver area, all the way up I-70. It also has a couple trail systems like nestled into it, like Green Mountain, Matthews Winners Park. Red Rocks is really close by, although it's a Morrison address, but it's really, really close to Lakewood. So the reason all of the homes in Lakewood are so expensive is because of this prime real estate location. But the reason I think you're overpaying is because now there's a cap on growth in Lakewood. I personally love Lakewood, and my friends and I will fondly coin the term Lakehood. But the reason that we say that is because a lot of the homes are up quite a bit older. They were built in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. And so the properties have more of a chopped up feel to them. Sometimes you can find properties that had been really, really well updated, but most people really like open floor plans, and Lakewood doesn't usually have that unless something has been completely remodeled. You would think that you would get a lot more for your money in Lakewood, but that's not always the case. There's a lot of variety on the type of properties that are for sale in the city, ranging from lower end condos all the way up to multi-million-dollar properties. But the median price remains right around $575,000. And a lot of the properties sell pretty fast because of their prime location. So what are you supposed to do if you want to live in Lakewood, but you don't really love an older home? Well, here's what you do, and I will show you here in just a second what we did to a 1960s brick ranch to update it all the way. We'll talk to one of my favorite interior designers, Brittany with B Design. So tell me a little bit more about what you would do to a property that had the old charm but needed a bit of work to it.
Right. So a lot of times it's got old charm that is like charming, right? So you want to keep some of that charm. In this house, it was mid-century, so I wanted to keep the mid-century style.
So what are we talking about? What's like a good bang for your buck? If you're going into a property that needs quite a bit of work to it, what are we looking at?
Flooring. I definitely think paint. Paint just freshes everything up. Even painting the ceilings, it just looks so clean and crisp. You definitely want paint, flooring.
Okay.
And then, like I said, I added a bunch of accents to this. So the hardware, the lighting, the fixtures.
I think that when someone's looking in an older home and they're considering updating it, the key really is the floor plan, because we can't always change the layout. Sometimes it's possible to knock down a wall here and there,
right,
but for the most part, you need to live with what the footprint looks like. If you have a vision, or you can hire a person who has a vision, then you can walk into that home and get an idea. And maybe, what are we talking as far as price? Let's say we wanted to do floors, paint, kitchen countertops, fixtures, the things that really make a difference in a property.
I mean, I would say that's somewhere between 20 and 30,000, depending on what you do for flooring. So like hardwoods could be a lot more than carpet, let's say.
And okay, the other problem that people have is that sometimes it's a huge headache to do it themselves. Right. Okay, so I'm going to just tell you that I thought it would be a headache going into this. Brittany handles all of it. So can you talk about exactly how you work with both the contractors and doing the design with the clients?
Yeah, so I hire the contractors out. I tell them what my vision is. I tell them what I want. I'm very specific. I'm super detail oriented. And I follow them through that whole process so I can make sure I really get what I want out of the house.
And her working with the contractors, it means that if there's a problem or somebody gets sick and there's a delay, she's taking care of it. She's on top of it. She's taking care of every little detail. So let's say you find a home that's older, you go purchase that home, you hire Brittany, she helps you pick out all the right design features, the contractors, and then she will deliver to you your dream home in your perfect location. And isn't that way better than buying something that's really far away from where you actually want to be?
That's right. It should really help you make your home what you want and make that, your style and what you're looking for.
That's the strategy of buying a home that you can see a vision in. And if you can't see the vision, that's okay, because I have people who do. So send me a quick text message and I will connect you with her. The price to remodel something like that is anywhere from maybe $20,000 on the low end all the way up to as high as you want to spend. but you can easily take some of your down payment and put it into the property. The buyers who overpay in Lakewood, in my opinion, are the ones that are buying an older house, but it hasn't been updated. And sometimes they're buying it for the incredible lot size, but I will tell you the updating can be fairly expensive. And so it's really important to ask those questions and look and see what else might be available in the area before you make a purchase on something that is kind of falling apart. Brittany can also help you with deciding how much things will cost before you go into making a purchase. A lot of times you already have equity in your house, and so it's real easy to access that equity and use it to help you renovate the next property. But there's so many logistics that if you're moving from out of state, you might not actually know how to make that happen. So I wrote up an entire guide on how to have a smooth move from out of state into a new metro. So Denver, for example, and it'll give you all kinds of things like how to handle the financing, how to actually make a move while you're selling a home and buying a home in the Denver area. And it'll also have some ideas on how to maybe have some of the renovations happen before you actually move into the property, so you get to move into it and have it look beautiful and exactly the way you want it. So download that guide here, and of course, let me know if you have any questions. Okay, next up, Greenwood Village. Now, I think Greenwood Village is an interesting one to put on this list because Greenwood Village is really and truly the prime location if you are interested in living in more of an urban, suburban feel. And I know that's contradictory, but let me explain, okay? Greenwood Village is on kind of the inner circle of 470 and 70 that make up the Denver metro area. And it also is bordered by Cherry Hills, which is, in another video, one of the most high-end luxury neighborhoods in all of the Denver area. It's also bordered by the Denver Tech Center, which is an incredible hub for all kinds of businesses. So professionals who want to live in that area but maybe don't want to pay Cherry Hills prices will live in Greenwood Village. So why am I saying that that is slightly overpriced? Well, you might love it. It has beautiful walking paths through it. It's got a really cool canal running through it, as well as the High Line Canal. And it really feels like an urban setting because there are shops and access to everything you can possibly think of within minutes of your property. If you do not need to have all of that access and you don't need to live 10 minutes from DTC or 20 minutes from downtown, then Greenwood Village is maybe overpriced for you because you could easily live somewhere else and have a way nicer house than you could if you lived in Greenwood Village. The median price in Greenwood Village is $1.8 million. Which is incredibly expensive unless you are thinking about the neighboring Cherry Hills or Lone Tree areas. These are really the luxury market. They take a little bit longer to sell, ranging anywhere from 1 to 2 months on the market. A lot of the housing inventory is a lot older, with a lot of classic homes, ranch style, lots of brick, very eclectic, and 2-story homes that were all built somewhere in the 1970s and 80s. So renovation costs, again, just like Lakewood, are very real. You're not buying brand new unless you are paying well above $1 million. Now let's compare that to Highlands Ranch, which is literally just across the highway from Greenwood Village. Highlands Ranch has a median home price of $682,000, and you would get into Douglas County School District. Some people really like Greenwood Village because you're in Cherry Creek School District, or you also have Littleton Public Schools right nearby. But Douglas County is a fantastic school district as well. And you get a much lower entry price and so much more selection when you move into Highlands Ranch. Plus, you get access to all of the great community centers. Highlands Ranch is quite a bit further than Greenwood Village, but if having your commute be, 5 to 10, maybe 15 minutes longer is okay with you, it's definitely worth your money to explore other areas. Okay, so stay tuned. I am developing a fantastic fantastic quiz about all of your possible interests and needs in a new house. So if you're interested in exploring that, I would actually really love to have a couple people to just test it out on. So send me an email or send me a text message and let's connect, because I do think that moving here from out of state can be really hard. And it's really important that you have someone who knows the area really well, who can coach you on the right locations. Like, for example, I am sitting here in Highlands Ranch right now at a beautiful lake, and these kids came up and now they're fishing, and I can see a view of the mountains in the backyard. And also the Highline Canal is bordering this park, and it's a couple of minutes from my kids' school and all kinds of fantastic communities. So let me know if you're interested in looking at homes in this area specifically. It's one of my favorites. Okay, last on the list for overpriced communities, Castle Pines. And I'm not just talking about the Castle Pines golf course area, although some would actually argue that that should actually fit into the overpriced list. But if you're paying high luxury prices for a beautiful golf community, I would love to help you, because that place is absolutely spectacular. What I am actually talking about are properties that have a Castle Pine address, but they do not get access to all of the golf course amenities that the Castle Pines golf community residents get access to. I'm talking about the Castle Pines that is on the west side of I-25, right up against Lone Tree and Highlands Ranch. And here's why I think those properties are overpriced. On the other side of I-25 is a huge rolling open area, and they are beginning development on a community called the Canyon. Because there is so much land between I-25 and Parker, there is plenty of space for builders to build. So if you're looking at buying a home in that area, don't necessarily buy one that is resale, because you can get incredible values by buying one that a builder is already working on for you, because they're going to give you interest rate buy downs with their preferred lender, or at least match those credits. And if they're not going to, by the way, I will make them do it for you, because you'll hire me to help represent you on the purchase of a new build. Remember that if you go into a new build without a realtor, they're not going to let you be represented, because the sales agent in the community, they're super nice, of course, but they represent the builder, not you. And so you need somebody else to go into that community and represent you. And of course, I would really love to do that. The homes in the Canyons area are, of course, brand new, open floor plans, ranging anywhere from $600 to $1.5 million. There's incredible amenities, resort style rec centers and pool areas, coffee shops. Schools are being zoned in the area as well. And so if your commute time is really important to you, buying in the Canyons is a great idea, as opposed to buying in Castle Pine. There's also a large community called Ridgegate that's being built up on the east side of I-25. And I think it'll be incredibly similar to Park Meadows, which is shopping area with a ton of fantastic restaurants that are all incredibly high end. In fact, if you are looking for luxury shopping, you are probably driving to Park Meadows or Cherry Creek. There are a number of communities in the Canyons that are slated to finish in 2027, and all of this new inventory is definitely going to put a cap on appreciation for homes that are across the highway in Castle Pine. If you enjoy the outdoors and that lifestyle, this is a little bit of a further commute to trails and ski resort. But there's also Castle Rock right nearby, Castlewood Canyon, and all kinds of other family-friendly trails throughout the area. So I would be happy to show you around. I go there pretty regularly for my daughter's volleyball game, or just to ride my bike on the East-West Douglas County Trail. Every area I've covered here today has a lot of value to it, and people just believe in paying for that value. You just have to be aware of whatever it happens to be, and that's where I come in, and I would love to help you out. Moving kind of takes over your life while you're doing it, and I have had clients who made the wrong decision and needed to move after another year of living in a home. So it's really important to do your research research beforehand. Check out my next video that will break down all of my favorite West Side suburbs that help you capitalize on the Denver lifestyle. I'm Heather O'Leary, your Colorado homegirl, and I would love to help you make a move. So let me know how I can be there for you.